Jim, that must be a bit of a weight off your shoulders.
Well, obviously, look, we're pleased to have won the game. You know, I don't expect us to get too many plaudits or too many pats on the back after it. I think it's a game that we should be winning. You know, with the greatest of respect to Peterhead, they're in a level below us, and you know, here at home at Tannadice, you know, we should be doing what we done today. I thought the attitude and the application of the players was excellent from the first whistle right to the end. I thought, you know, it was defensively a good, solid performance. Jack Walton had a very quiet afternoon because of how well the boys in front of him done. And I thought, yeah, right throughout the team, it was a good performance. You know, we're not going to get carried away, obviously, because as I said, it's a game that people would expect us to win. But you know, we were expected to win last Saturday at Spartans as well, and didn't quite do it because I felt we didn't do the basics well enough, especially in the build-up to their goal that they managed to get. In front of goal against Spartans, we weren't ruthless enough. You know, we had 3 or 4 really clear opportunities that we should have been doing better with. But today, I thought it was a very good performance from start to finish, and I think it gives the group a little bit of confidence, and hopefully we can carry that on into Tuesday night.
Notice as well, we had a few players playing different positions. We had Tony Watt playing out on the left, and Liam Grimshaw was filling in at right back, and that versatility is going to be important in a season that's so relentless. Yeah,
I think you know, it did certainly today give us an opportunity to try 1 or 2 things. Listen, Liam Grimshaw played a number of games at right back for Motherwell in the Premier League, so it's a position that he's very comfortable in, one that he's familiar with. Tony Watt played off the left for Motherwell prior to coming to Dundee United, and that's where, you know, he got a lot of his success and scored a lot of goals from that area of the pitch. I think we need to be fair with Tony. He's nowhere near the level of fitness that he needs to be at, because he's only 8 or 9 weeks post-op and has only been training for about 10 or 12 days with the group. So we're trying to gradually build up Tony's minutes in the team, but his attitude has been spot on. Hence why, you know, we made him vice captain, because he's been a great example around the group, and he's a character that some of the younger boys look up to because of what he's already achieved in the game. And so yeah, I think there's lots and lots of positives there. I think for me, the players that we've signed, you know, we do have a few utility players within the group, and I think that's important when you're going to have a relatively tight squad of 20-21 players. I think you need to be able to be flexible with formations and with personnel within that. So yeah, I'm glad we could get back to winning ways. I'm delighted for the supporters that turned out, and I thank them for that, because you know, the last couple of games haven't been good enough. Simple as that.
The first half it kind of went as expected. We were on top. We were just pushing for that first goal. It came, and it was Louis Moult that hit the back of the net. That's his first goal since November 2022. That'll do his confidence the world of good. Yeah,
I think for a striker, I think it's really important that you get up and running as early as possible. You know, especially when you go to a new club, and you know, these games are, you know, good opportunities for defenders to get used to keeping clean sheets, and for strikers to get in good habits and start hitting the back of the net, or at least working the opposition goalkeeper. But you know, you're right to point out the first half was a little bit frustrating at times because of how much of the ball we had. We found it hard to penetrate the Peterhead backline, but I think that's something as a club, and us as a group, and for the supporters as well, I think it's something that we're going to have to get used to and learn to deal with, and not get frustrated with it. You know, as long as the players stick to what we've been working on and what we believe in, which is to try and keep the ball moving nice and quickly, to try and move it side to side and wait for those gaps to appear, then that's when we will get success. But you know, it might not always happen in the first 10 or 15 minutes of the game. You know, it sometimes might go deep into the second half, but we have to trust in what we're doing, and we can't start forcing things because we're getting frustrated. And I think that's the message to the players, but it's also the message to the supporters. You know, stick with us like they did today, kept driving the boys on, and thankfully, you know, scored a very good goal. It's a goal actually that we've been talking about and working on for the last 5 weeks in training, where our midfielder's going to run from deep and make good diagonal runs behind the back line, and Archie Meekison done it really, really well. A good cutback for Louis Moult, and you know, good finish in the end.
You mentioned those patterns of play, and 2 players in the first half who were really instrumental with that was Archie Meekison and Chris Mochrie, just picking up spaces in the half space. also had Matthew Kudrow coming on in the second half, and Kai Fotheringham was direct for the second game in a row.
Yeah, I think we've got you know, a really good blend now within the group. We've got a decent balance, I think, with the players that we've brought in. Some good experienced players who have all got 150, 200 games under their belt at senior level. A lot of leaders within the group as well, the likes of Jack Walton, Kevin Holt, Grimshaw, Docherty, obviously club captain, Craig Sibbald in amongst it as well. And then we've got some really good, young, hungry, energetic players. You know, a couple that you mentioned there, Mockery Meekison, but obviously, you know, you've got Kudjoe and Kai Fotheringham and Rory McLeod, who we're trying to get minutes to as well. So, yeah, I think we're in a decent position right now with the way that the squad is shaping up. Still a very new group, you know, still all trying to get familiar with what's been asked of them, and you know, to try and develop those partnerships in the pitch as well. So it's still a very much a work in progress. But you know, pleased to get the 3 points today, pleased to get the 3 goals, and you know, really pleased for the supporters because they've been great. You know, they've stuck with us, and happy that we can send them home on a Saturday evening with a smile on their face.